So we have another interview. We actually have 2 more interviews to go, but I just want to ensure that we have the person on the line. If you guys saw the flyer, it is for Miss Jheanell Barnaby. All right. So guys, ensure that you are making your notes because we will have giveaways. So make sure now listen keenly, jot down any little thing think you need to jot down, and also make sure that you are learning, not only just to win, but to learn the information and share it with others. All right. All right. So we have Jheanell on air. Jheanell, can you hear me?
Hi, Kimmie. Yes, I can hear you.
Hi. All right. So thank you again. You already know how grateful I am that you agreed to basically come on air and share your story. All right. So I know that
Yes.
we are a little behind because I told you 6:30, but we're gonna get right to it. So can you let us know, Jheanell, what was your lifestyle like before your diagnosis?
Okay. I had a pretty normal life before cancer. I was always active. I mean, I have a 9-year-old who is very active, so I had to have the energy to match up to that, you know. Um, I considered myself to be a healthy person. I rarely got sick. And when I say sick, I mean like, have a cold or anything like that. Something as simple as that. I rarely have had a cold. So,
You
the
are
only
basically,
time
for the
you catch
most
me going
part,
to the
probably
doctor
you'd say healthy.
is when I have like a pap smear to be done. That's the only time you catch me going to the doctor. Um, so I try to eat as healthily as possible. I eat most things, but in moderation. So fruits and vegetables, I always have a part. I always add that to my diet. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I stay away from all of that. As it relates to fitness, I'm always moving. I don't exercise routinely, but whenever I feel like, I need to, I try my best to get it done. So I really had a normal lifestyle, I'd say.
So what I want to
Right
know
from the
now
beginning.
then is, how did
I
you
think
find
I was
out? How did you
always
first get
healthy
this
and
news?
understood,
Is it something
that
that you
I'm a
realized
heritage
that was
patient.
off with
It's
you,
one of the
or
hardest things
what?
that I had to digest.
If you heard me, were you hearing me?
No, I was getting a feedback.
Oh, you're getting a feedback. I'm not sure what happened.
Mhm.
But what I was asking is, how did you first find
Mhm.
out about this diagnosis? Is it something that you felt was off, or you're doing a regular checkup, or
Mhm.
what's your story, the beginning of this journey?
All right. So my journey started back in 2018, really, where I had a nipple discharge coming from my right breast. Um, I was alarmed by it because it's not normal to have a discharge coming from your breast if you're not breastfeeding. Prior to that, a few years prior to that, I breastfed my daughter, and I remember that she was not interested in that breast, and so I was just thinking that it was just an infection that I developed, over time. And so I decided to check it out. So I went to my gynecologist, and he referred me to a surgeon. So I went to the surgeon, and he did some lab tests, and the results came back inconclusive. And so he decided that he was going to do a lumpectomy. He did a lumpectomy, and the results came back to say that I had precancerous cells, and they are in the lining of my milk duct. He also said that it's a stage 0 breast cancer, but I shouldn't, you know, it's not something for me to really worry about. For me for it to be cured, I'd have to have a mastectomy. But I was not totally in agreement with a mastectomy at the time because I was just thinking that it's a stage 0. There must have been something else, that could have been done. But he was really insistent, and so I decided that I needed to get a second opinion. So I went back to my gynecologist, and he referred me to another surgeon. I went to the surgeon, and he did some tests. He decided that he was gonna get some tests done before he made a decision as to what to do next. So I did an MRI scan, and um, I also did a genes test, and I also did an ultrasound. So we did all of those, and the result came back to say that I am fine. nothing is shown in those results. And so he said that he would have monitored me for another 6 months just to see if, if any changes would have happened. So 6 months came, I did another ultrasound. It still was showing that I'm fine. And another 6 months came. This is now in the early part of 2019, and it was still showing that I'm okay. So 2019, I was fine, and 2020, I was okay. Fast forward now to January of this year is when I realized that the same breast had some physical changes happening. So I noticed that the the tissue of the breast got firm, like just the whole breast, so there wasn't any lump. I had a little bit of itch, so when I itched, the skin started flaking, as well as the nipple became inverted a little. So, I got concerned about that. I didn't procrastinate. I went back to the surgeon and showed him what was happening, and he referred me to do a mammogram. So I went and do a mammogram. The mammogram still was showing that I'm okay. And so he decided to do a biopsy, a needle biopsy. So he did the needle biopsy, and the result came back on April 23rd to say that it is in fact breast cancer, and it is now invasive. So it's in the tissue and in a few of the lymph nodes under my underarm area.
Wow. That story
Right. So,
alone, man. I don't know.
so
I,
it has
I,
been
I
a
really
long journey,
wanted, I'm really happy that you got to come on air with this story, because to know that you've been doing the checks and all that, and you kept being told, it's okay. But I love that you stuck with it. You still, there are signs, but you still followed up on it. And
Yeah,
I
most
must commend you
definitely.
for that. All right, but I want to know now, how has it been? Well, actually, we're gonna go to the 7 o'clock break because we have to go to that. But don't go anywhere. We have the remaining questions before it is that we go to another interview. All right.
All right, so welcome back, guys, to Fantastic
Welcome back.
Friday.
Welcome back, Jheanell. Are you still here with us?
Yes, I'm still here. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Thank you so much for staying. All right, so just to follow up on your story now, what I want to know is, how has it been for you since? And based on your experience, what advice do you have for other ladies on the same journey as you, or other ladies overall that haven't been doing their checks as yet?
hmm So mentally, it has been one of the most devastating news I've had to process. So now I feel like, I'm kind of healing a bit, and I've accepted that this is what is happening in my life, and I just have to deal with it. And that's why I'm able to so freely and openly speak about it. I have just completed chemotherapy. That was 16 rounds of chemo over a 20 weeks period. It wasn't the easiest to deal with at all. I mean, the side effects were terrible in the last leg of it. But, I got over it. In the beginning, I didn't know that I would actually complete it because I was so scared. And, you hear a lot of things about chemo, and it just sounded like something that my body could not handle. But, I went through it, and I'm happy now and rejoicing that I'm through it. So the next um the next step for me is surgery, and I'm preparing for that. And it's something that I am scared to go into, but it's something that I have to do. So I am just looking forward and cannot wait for it all to be over. For persons who are going through it right now, um, I'd say take things a day at a time. It's never easy, but you have to try to stay positive, because I do believe that staying positive will help you to get through it, and don't compare your journey to anyone else's. I'll give you an example of when I started chemo. This young lady who started a few weeks before me, she, was telling me of her experiences and telling me of the side effects that were happening to her. And she's saying to me that this is what's going to happen to you, and I went into panic mode. I started worrying, and I'm saying my body really can't handle that, so that was additional stress for me. So I'd say to someone out there, don't compare your journey. I think it's unique, and you just have to try to manage how you feel and what you are feeling at the time. and speak to your doctor, get professional advice, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Even if you think you know the answer to it, but you're not quite certain, ask your doctor and let them guide you through the whole process.
Wow. I mean, I
For
love that
for women
you.
in general, I do see a lot of young women being diagnosed. I was diagnosed at 32, and so I'd say, cancer does not respect you no matter of your age or your race or your status. You have to just take your health seriously and try to get to know your body so you can tell if something is, unusual is happening. Do your self examinations and try not to miss your appointments. Prioritize your appointments. Don't put it off and say next week. You're going to reschedule for next week. And, because your health is important and early detection really does save lives. So, the importance, of taking your health seriously. I can't stop saying that.
Well, Jheanell, I have to say that you have a very, very powerful story. And even the fact that you shared just now that you have surgery coming up and you're scared, you admitted it on air that you're afraid of it. However, it's just something you have to do. And I mean, I don't think I can find the exact words because, we may never know exactly what you're going through. But I'm telling you, we're sending all the love and support from the Funtastic family. Also, the ladies in studio. I can see the effect on everybody's faces that it really have an impact on them.
And the gent in studio as well.
Forgive me.
I did see a term. I did see a term online that really resonates with basically what you're saying. You're afraid, but you're still going forward. And I think that most of the ladies have taken on to this as well. They said they're pink warriors.
Yeah.
You know? So I think the pink kind of gets a bit of fear out there, but the warrior means you're going to push through nonetheless. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Yeah.
So I love your bravery. I have to say, your story has touched me. I feel like it has touched many people on the live. I saw that S1E20 as well on the live was saying, I'm happy I was listening to these ladies today and the fun size one as well agreeing. So I have to say, man, I don't have the words. Yeah. But thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I want to know, do you have any shout outs? Anybody you want to big up, acknowledge?
Of course. My support team, I have to really big them up. I really didn't expect all the love that I'm getting. If I never know I was loved before, I know now. So I just want to big up everybody, my husband, my daughter, my sister-in-law, my mother, my mother-in-law, just everybody really who has been there for me. And also, persons who are going through this right now, my warrior sisters, I want to just big them up right now. And, we just have to keep going. So, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you again. And Jheanell, I know I had wanted you to come in studio. You weren't able to, but don't worry. The Funtastic family has something special in store for you. So we'll reach out to you on air just to off air, just to thank you for this bravery that you came on air to share your story and you're still going through it. That says a lot. So you have my support. You have my love from myself, Lionel, everybody in studio, and the whole Funtastic family.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much, Kimmie.
You're welcome.
All right, and you have yourself a fantastic weekend, all right?
Yes, be safe.
Okay, thank you so much.